Getting out of the habit of arguing with the narc. A lot of times when I've talked to people about narcissism, they say things like, I did this and this and this, and he still didn't listen, or she still didn't listen. They still don't get it. They're never going to get it. And you shouldn't even try to help them get it, because they won't. You can't prove anything to them. Arguing with them is like talking to a brick wall. It doesn't, arguing with the brick wall, it doesn't do anything. Gotta get out of the habit of doing that. And even in the voice in your mind, because the narc can be a voice in your mind, don't argue with the voice in your mind that represents the narc. And if you're having trouble getting rid of the voice, listen to some affirmations, either that somebody else has recorded or that you record. What do I mean by affirmations? Phrases, positive phrases. Get a recording of some affirmations from somebody. There's so many people these days that are selling, this kind of thing. Just go on YouTube and type in positive affirmations, and if you start hearing that voice of the narc in your head, don't argue with it. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. This is not something you can solve by figuring it out with your thoughts. You have to shift your emotions first, and then let your thoughts follow your positive emotions. When you change your emotions to positive, then your mind will follow. But you can't just go into trying to work it all out through your intellect, because you won't get anywhere. Because ultimately, the intellect is not what people think it is. The intellect is not a space where things get figured out. It's a reflection of whatever you're feeling. If you think about from a survival standpoint, the nervous system and the brain, our ability to use language, whatever the body is experiencing, the mind will just simply reiterate that. If you're cold, you think to yourself, gosh, I'm cold, I don't know why, what should I do about it? Should I turn down the air conditioning? Is the air conditioning even on? Is it cold outside? Why is it so cold in the house? What should I do? Get a blanket? Should I turn the heat on? Your thoughts represent whatever you're going through. They're not a place where you can't use your thoughts to get out of your thoughts. You have to shift your emotions, and then your thoughts will begin to reflect a different set of emotions. But if you try to get out of your thoughts through your thoughts, you just get more and more into it. The mythical image of the labyrinth is the mind. It just goes around and around, and you get lost in it, and you can't escape. Getting out of the habit of arguing with the narc is giving up the idea that you're going to prove something to them. Giving up on the idea that you're going to prove something to anyone else other than yourself. Whatever you're trying to prove, just prove it to yourself. You're trying to prove that you can move on, that you're strong, that you're no longer bound by the narc. Prove it to yourself. They're not going to listen. And furthermore, the simple truth is, if you keep doing something and it doesn't work, you need to notice that and you need to stop and try something else. That affirmation that I created in the previous video about how I'm responsible for my own life, the video that's entitled "The Narc wants you to blame them for things. Here's why." I took that affirmation and I made a recording out of it, and I listened to it on loop. And my emotional state became very good. It became very, very much where it should be, you know. It didn't take more than half an hour of doing that, you know, or half an hour to an hour of meditation, another half hour to an hour of affirmations every day. That's like an hour to 2 hours of inner work every day. And you can begin to shift where your mind and where your emotions are residing in a general way. But it feels like you should be able to figure it out through your brain, because the narc is always trying to engage you linguistically. They use language, they love to use language that triggers you. But you can't get out of it through language or through the mind. It has to be through emotions. And if you are going to try to get out of it through your thoughts, then you should do it by silencing your mind and watching your thoughts through meditation or by using affirmations. It shouldn't be something where you're trying to grind, like trying to get a car to start and it just doesn't start, and you just keep riding, you know, trying to get the engine to start and it just won't start. And you know, it's time to check the engine, it's time to do some repairs. Don't just keep revving the engine. Unless you want to totally destroy your own car, which I don't think anybody really does.